Very good evening, sir.
Very good evening.
This is one more series of the kind of interviews what we are going ahead taking
Very
to
good.
document certain happenings and important personal of the scouting in India.
Right.
Now, what I'm going to talk about or what you're going to express me about is Mr. Mickey.
Mickey. Oh,
As
wonderful.
is very famously known across the country,
Yes.
Mr. Mickey.
Yes.
If you can recall the first time when you could see him, how was your meeting with him? At what instance?
I can only remember him at the national headquarters when he came. Mm, and from then onwards, we were together. Mickey came to national headquarters for an interview. Am I right, Mickey?
Yes, sir.
That is when I saw. And in the beginning, I took by the name Mickey. He was a Christian. He was a Christian. And ever since we met, the appointment was. He comes from Southern Railway background. I could see that he has got a lot of enthusiasm and commitment for scouting. Not that he wants to do scouting for a show or for his benefit or for his growth, but for the love of it. That's what made me too much convinced about him. Then we got him appointed as the regional organizing commissioner. The enthusiasm with which he worked as ROC of Western region convinced me that he was to face a lot of problems in Western region because Western region is not, the state associations of Western region were not very well developed. For example, Gujarat, Western Railway, Central Railway, except Maharashtra. It was very difficult to be able to be a leader of a state of like Maharashtra, where it is the biggest or the largest state of scouting, and he managed it so well. He gave his what you call best to Gujarat scouting in developing. Gujarat was one of our weakest states. And as ROC of Western region, they have brought up leprosy awareness and all other both community development and development of states census, improvement of sales of equipment. In every aspect, the Western region tried to grow and come forward. Most success story of his was then we got him promoted as assistant director and sent to the Eastern region. This is not only geographically but even otherwise almost the other end of it. It is a very well developed area with two railway states and West Bengal. West Bengal was one of our fortresses. Though they are not big in number, their quality, their innovative scouting, type of scouting, and their forthrightness in pushing matters forward in the national scene, hats off to West Bengal from the beginning. And I was a little hesitant about Mr. Mickey's getting on with West Bengal. And he did it so well. The State Secretary Adhirda wrote a personal letter to me. You have given us the best assistant director whom we respect so much and with whom we love to work so well. To get such a remark from, and he was a very senior leader. Adhir Da means about 85 those days. A young man to be able to win over such very old people of West Bengal was itself a very great satisfaction for all of us.
Like Mr. Mekki has worked in the capacity of ROC, assistant director, and
That's right.
various positions.
Right.
When did you happen to work pretty closely with him and get to know more about Mekki?
Right. But even while he was working as assistant director, we were close in the sense, in every PRC, performance review conference, he used to talk, present what he did and what he wants to do. Then the originality of Mekki, the intentions of Mekki, the vision that he has got for the future of scouting in his region was very प्रस्फुट हो जाएगा. It becomes sort of clear. But the community development part of it, when he gave a direction, the leprosy awareness, somehow he developed a close sort of affliction or affection for the subject community development, and leprosy work he did wonderfully well. As a member of the staff, he was also attached to the southern region for leprosy work. For some times he worked, and he was with us, with me, as a confident person so far as leprosy work was concerned. And you will wonder, there was a political slogan of Bihar State Chief Minister, the then State Chief Minister Lalu Prasad Yadav, now the Railway Minister. He left a card, trump card like
Sarvaha Vidyalaya.
Sarvaha Vidyalaya, means that was really a wonderful idea. These cowherd boys who drive the cows and buffaloes to fields, they cannot go to school. So Lalu Prasad Yadav gave a new slogan of bringing teachers to the places where the cows and buffaloes were being grazed. And to those boys and girls busy grazing them, he wanted to start schools. They immediately contacted Mr. Mekki and said, get ready on your heels. If those schools come up, we must be able to start scouting in them. That's what he was ready to do. Both in the Changalpattu district project and in many other areas of work. And he was very good in scout skills. In addition to that, he underwent so many courses while doing good work, management courses, leader trainers and others. And then his expression was lovely, original, from the heart he speaks. And then his presentation of matter was as skillful as his execution. So I depended upon him for the job that he was giving. It so happened that he left Bharat Scouts and Guides as a professional, but working voluntarily for the Bharat Scouts and Guides. And then we thought, why can't we give a little more work about leprosy to Mr. Mekki. He was those days in Bihar, Patna. From Patna, he went to Bhagalpur. Madhuji, you don't believe, he has got the best relationship skills. If he, and especially younger people than him, including girls, rangers, guides, when once they try to talk and exchange ideas with Mr. McKee, they will be so attached like sisters and brothers. And thus, he picked up some boys, young people, in and around Bhagalpur. Because Bhagalpur was highly endemic in leprosy, that was the district in Bihar. Because he was working as assistant director of Eastern region, and he was successful as the assistant director. All the states in the Eastern region, West Bengal, Orissa, Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, all these group of states, he was very popular. So we wanted to take advantage of his popularity, and by that time I could make AHM work so closely in India, and then I depended upon him. He formulated an excellent core committee for because it's not that we want leprosy to be eradicated and so we are working, but that he got it more natural. He got it made so naturally that there are local people who formed a committee. And I try to support from AHM on behalf of AHM.
So, like Mr. Meki, after joining Bharat Scouts and Guides, he has worked very closely with the Bharat Scouts and Guides. After quitting Bharat Scouts and Guides, he has worked closely with AHM, and now is very closely working with ISGF. So you have been seeing him in all these three different ventures. His multi-dimensional talent and attitude. Go get it kind of an attitude. What is your say on that? And this kind of a shift, being a professional with Bharat Scouts and Guides, and then coming on to India Scout Guide Fellowship as a volunteer, working as National Secretary, Mr. Meki.
Well, this is something unexpected. He's taking this stand in the ISGF because as we have been working in scouting and then working with communities in the leprosy and then trying to collect non-scouts and old scouts to rope in for his work, that is how he developed a love for ISGF and thought that some volunteers who are a little more matured, who are a little more learned, who have got some say in the community, that is how he collected. I tell you, can you believe that there were at least 15 to 20 young people who were like a circus company, moving about every day to a village, camping there for the night. The whole day they go to every house in the village, they tap. They try to tell them about leprosy, try to screen their bodies, try to, if they are identifying anybody, try to guide them to the medical department, and then write on every wall that this is a house is visited on such and such day, and then going to the next house. Thus, every house in every village, every child in every primary and secondary school, these young people, about 20, day, no night. Saturday evening they used to go home, have a change, stay with their families, and by Monday morning they are again on their shoes with this thing. That team he built up. And with them he used to go. They used to cook their food, eat, take a pack, and then go and do all this work. And he was the first person to touch a leper on his patches and then trying to console him. Nothing, you are feeling pain, this. He could reach Biharis. It's very difficult to be able to get into.
And the background support by the volunteers, and you say your gratitudes to late Sardar Lakshman Singh, who stood as a thing. Later on, as you progressed, there was a good beginning, there was a good progress at the initial stage. Later on, Let us take at the end of your professional, where you stood with all your achievements. Where was the Bharat Scouts and Guides?
Well, Bharat Scouts and Guides, it was given, I should not say, in the citation of my bronze bull. The World Scout Bureau told that in community development, the Bharat Scout and the Biharis and Bengalis, they are all very sort of, one is a very advanced state and the other is a very backward state. But he built up his own team and he went round and they completed the Bhagalpur project in such a way, I can't tell you, nobody else can do so efficiently and so effectively and with such a love and commitment. If young people did that with all their might, it was because of the inspiration that they have got from Mickey. When he is staying there, when he is working with them, when it is raining, when there was knee deep of water, they used to push their cycles onto the other shore and then ride and go. About 8 cycles, all of them doubles, riding and going from village to village, where there are no roads. For many villages, they are only the bunds of the fields, the बीच में about 1 foot wide bunds होता है ना, उसके ऊपर they used to go
with the bicycles.
With the bicycles. That's how they went round. I have a number of photographs, about 37 to 40 photos. And then this is the field work that he did. And then reporting, he was quite meticulously, he used to send reports, properly drafted, facts and figures. That helped me in consolidating the reports and then trying to spread the ideas of
The good work done by Mr.
Mekki to others and get them encouraged to follow his ideas.
At the same time, when you're talking about his good relationship skills,
Yes.
now what I can see is the kind of network and relationship he has made
Yes.
among the veterans of Bharat Scouts and Guides.
That's right.
It may be Kala Didi,
Yes.
you,
Yes.
Anvarasan,
Yes.
or whoever will take it.
Yes.
Ganate sir,
Yes.
things like that.
Yes.
So what do you say about this kind of skill about the person, sir?
This is he is made of affection, and he does not play jokes with others. He will always be serious and sincere. This sincerity in his work, in his the respect that he gives to the elders, this is only a response from the elders that he enjoys. So that relationship which he keeps with his people younger than him and to the older people also, he developed skills of working for it. And there has not been an elder who did not cooperate with Mr. Mekki,
That's really
who did not believe Mr. Mekki's words, who did not want to jump with him onto the field and continue to work. A person like Mahajanji, a person like Gokhale, who have seen world and internationally famous people, and Mr. Gruner and Mrs. Gruner, Dr. Nuruddin, and then Arif of our regional Sudan
Sudan regional
Dr. Atif. So everywhere where if he meets a person, he wins over.
That
He
shows the
wins his
simplicity of the person.
Exactly. He leaves an impression with the person that here is a good friend with whom we can make friends. That was his skill, and with very great devotion he worked for leprosy. I am yet to see another friend, another devoted worker in a very difficult area like leprosy awareness. And thirdly, as an individual, I lived with him.